Yo, I guess we're not going to do the opening song. Let's.
The Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show. And you say Shot City, the Tailgate Show, the Tailgate Show.
What is up? Welcome back to another episode of The Tailgate Show. It's Double A, it's Air Jer, it's True Biscuits and Gravy. What is up? What is happening? Brian Quinn will be here at some point. Our boy B Dizzle, B Diddy, he's making a fucking dramatic appearance behind a secret veil of secrecy. He's got to put the thing in the back of his head like the fucking Matrix and get in here. Welcome to the motherfucking show. We are here. It is a big day in Bears land. The press conference happened. We got to meet Ryan Poles. We got to meet Matt Eberflus. George said a few words. The illustrious Chicago media had their moment to meet with our two champions. It was something, huh? You know?
I did applaud him though. Eberflus seemed pretty offended by that.
But do people applaud typically?
Apparently that's a thing. I've never noticed that before.
Wait, I don't remember anybody applauding the start of a press conference.
I completely agree with you, but it's a hot button topic on Twitter apparently.
Wow.
Well, that doesn't make it legit, but like I'm fucking.
They applauded.
That was awkward. That was awkward. Like, why was he expecting applause? B did he? Why was he expecting applause?
They applauded McDaniels in Vegas.
All right.
And we're going right there.
But do you think that he should have expected applause? Is it stupid? It's just dumb topic, probably. But
there's been a bunch of dumb shit, man. Like people, like you can't just like listen to a damn presser without trying to be fucking body language experts and cutting on people for speech and shit. It's just like we got the change we wanted. You know what I mean? Pace and Nagy are gone. We got fresh blood in here with a different vision. I don't know. I just thought it's like people waiting in the wings just to fucking hop on something. Like,
oh yeah, but that's that's Twitter, that's fucking modern world where everybody notices everything. Like we're cracking on the pen they used for Poles to sign, and then it was like they got a nicer pen for Eberflus, but it still wasn't really like a nice pen. It was like dumb shit, just dumb shit.
It's an acronym, man. It was like H.I.T.S, and I was just like, oh fuck, we got the Division III coach off the movie.
Well, here's the thing: is they have such a tough road to hoe because we hate George.
Correct.
In these settings, I don't hate George. He's a genuinely nice man. Like you can just tell a vibe about somebody, and when I've met him the couple times that I've briefly, said hello, thank you, nice to meet you, Mr. McCaskey, and he says hello,
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for coming out. Yeah, whatever. Like you can get a vibe from somebody if they're like weird or aloof or like creep vibe or like fake vibe. He gives off a very friendly, warm, genuine, just like regular dorky guy vibe, and he's very like mindful of Virginia, and he's kind of scanning the room, and he's kind of frittery and whatever, but he's genuine. Like he's not this isn't like some kind of weird act or whatever. So it's hard to hate him because you almost feel like he's just doing the best he fucking can because he's completely not equipped. But everybody that opens their mouth from a Bears press conference immediately is like fighting against the tide of frustration that the Bears fans can't wait to fucking unleash upon them.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
Paul,
go ahead, Brian.
Paul started off a little rough, but like he was also, you could tell I was okay with it because he was reflecting. Like he first got choked up when he started talking about how he's still gonna be there for his wife and kids as much as he can. This is a job that's gonna consume your life, right? He kind of took us through his steps of how he got here. He's young, man. He's 36 years old. Like he went and started talking about the people. I mean, this is your life when you're involved in this. From 23, 13 years, so 23 to 36, to finally get this opportunity. Like he was just kind of going through the journey, and he got a little choked up. Like, and people were shitting on that too. I'm like, man, like to me, it shows vulnerability, which is human. Like,
I mean, think about it.
Anything, you can connect with a dude like that. Like,
he probably started out at a very basic hourly rate job, trying to get his foot in the door, and built himself up to potentially a multi-million-dollar of deal as a general manager.
An undrafted free agent to start off as a player, you know. So
I get all that. I think you're 100% right. There's nothing wrong with showing emotion. I just feel like you have now taken the mantle of a high-level executive of a franchise. Like, so I would have liked to have seen him be a little more of a command the room type of guy, but I'm nitpicking. But I just felt like, dude, like you have your goals. He's probably been saying those goals in interviews for weeks now. Like,
right.
you know, as a person who's ever had to present themselves to somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like Diddy, you go and do like those town council meetings. I'm sure you've had to talk at work or give some sort of presentation at work. You know, and no, you don't feel like choked up about that because it's your lifelong dream, blah, 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 blah. But like his rap game was weak. He came out weak. I'm sorry. Like it's dicky to be like, oh, he can't cry. No, not my first fucking impression of you. Like, hold your shit together, man. Like, you want to cry later?
I don't know. You don't know what he's been through.
I don't give a fuck. You're now the GM of the Bears. Carry yourself with confidence, not fucking mope shit. I'm sorry.
I think there's a level of confidence when you can be yourself. If you get choked up, you get choked up, man. I don't know. I think we're being too.
He warmed up, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I'm sorry, my first impression of him was real young, real inexperienced, and just like, wow, like that's really. I mean, you know, we don't like to be toxic masculinity and all that, whatever the fuck, but like you're still leading a football team. Like you're not, this isn't, you know, he's not leading the Yankee Candle Store fucking, you know, like salesman conference.
But he's being genuine, and if he's heartfelt,
congrats.
Being passionate about it, that's not the worst thing either.
I just think in like the first 5 minutes he's choked up, then he's reading from a paper, like he couldn't even memorize his goals. Like I know it's fucking over the top and I'm like nitpicking, but it's like I just would have liked a stronger presence. Like it just felt like Jesus, man, like this is the guy. And thank God Eberflus came out because he at least has some juice. You know, like fucking, I'm just saying, like, Poles has no juice, man. Yeah, he seems really earnest. I just didn't feel any juice from him. And all that doesn't fucking matter one bit. I want to see who he picks and what he does as a manager. But in that moment, it just didn't really impress me in the beginning. I think he warmed up because he caught some of the juice, of the Eberflus juice.
Doesn't it make himself aware that he's already hired an assistant GM? You know, he's like, hey, I'm going to need help through this process, and I need somebody who's been in other places.
You're saying that comes out of a lack of confidence?
I think it comes from a lack of...
No, that's just a modern structure.
Well, I'm just saying that's some self-awareness, too. It's like, hey, he's aware enough to know that he's growing in the job, too.
He's aware enough to know that he walked into a situation that he's the top football guy in the freaking organization, so he needs to structure his department the way it should be structured.
Yeah,
the McCaskies won't do. So it's like, I need an assistant GM. I'll be the head GM, but that you need somebody to run shit off of. He has nobody with McCaskey and Ted Phillips there.
True.
He brought the dude in. He restructured things the way that we've been wanting them to be done, and I applaud him for that.
We got a couple comments from the YouTube chat. Appreciate you guys for being in there. Here's one from Wyatt Kramer. The ones that don't speak well are the best at their craft. They don't sit and think about talking. They think about how to make a winning roster. Yeah, I don't think he came across as stupid. I don't think he came across like he doesn't care. He was very genuinely affected by the moment, and that's cool. I'm not trying to be
admitted he was nervous on Carmen and Yurko.
Oh, for sure. And listen, man, he like that George picking him up at the airport. That was a fucking move, Jack. Like, you know, everybody was giving him shit, which, by the way, was ridiculous. People commenting that George was in Bear's costume. Motherfucker, half of O'Hare looks like that.
I think it's just as ridiculous to get all hell bent about the presser, though.
I mean, I'm going to get hell bent about everything. It's kind of what I do on this show. But, like, I just feel like fucking that, you know, it just, you know, it's just one of those things where I just would have liked him to just come out a little stronger. As I said, he rallied. He won me over.
He took the press bully and dunked on him pretty well, did he not?
Right. He came around. He definitely came around. But one of the interesting things was how much he loved George. He was super thankful to George. He's just kind of a kiss the ring guy. I think in a perfect world, we imagine these,
Have you watched any
guys
of the
who are going to come.
You think you're in a vacuum right now? They all thank the owner.
Not like that, man. Like, he was just his deference was intense, you know? Like, it was just like, you know, it was like, he's not a guy who's going to come in and be like, this is the way we do things. I'm going to change everything. Like, he's not touching shit. He ain't moving a picture.
Really, because you told them to get the fuck out of the process. I'm going to be doing the hiring.
Okay, that's, you know, that's what we're told. So we've been told, what we discovered today during the course of the presser was that he gave them names that he was interested in the interview process before he became a finalist. They used those names to inform their decisions on who they were going to interview as a coach. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you like a GM and you know that GM is going to hire a coach, you say to that GM, hey, what coaches are you interested in? Then you say, we're interested in this GM, so we're going to start talking to some of these coaches, and there was some timing and rules.
This was all reported about a week and a half ago.
What?
That he basically said, I'm going to be doing the hiring.
Yeah, but he actually stated it in the presser, though.
Okay, so it was confirmed what we heard a week and a half ago.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah, but there was also weird things said by George in his initial presser was that he would have final say on the GM and the coach hire. George said that, and he was asked about that today. And what we found out is there were 3 finalists that were all approved. George said he would have been fine with the hire of any one of those 3, but ultimately he had. Did his power just go out? He had.
My power literally just fucking went out.
Holy shit! I was joking. Biscuit's power just went out. Damn. But so there were 3 finalists that George said he gave approval to hire. Those 3 finalists did not have to be the only people that Ryan Poles interviewed by himself, but they were. He chose that. He says that Eberflus was one of his top guys all along. At the end of the day, whatever. We also heard from the Oracle, a.k.a. Jeff Hughes. Yes, I admit you fucking have info. He said that Dan Quinn's interview reportedly went badly, and I saw it from other sources that Quinn wanted the job, did not get the job.
Didn't have a plan for Justin.
Yeah, I mean, I think like Quinn, as much as I talked myself into him, I think he was also kind of riding on the redemption story. Like, I don't know if he was, you know, I don't know how equipped he was to, you know, like wow somebody about a plan or whatever. Why do you have my picture now? And my Mambo number 5 picture.
It's you, bro. I'll be back in just a minute. You keep talking.
BK asked in the chat, basically, do you guys believe that Poles was the one that hired?
I believe that it was a guided choice. Like Poles basically said he was talking to Polian during the interview process. So there was a little bit of like a group mind that was going on. He was asked what candidates he liked. They liked him. They chose to interview those candidates. Then basically the choice is, all right, here are 3 finalists. So there's already a set of pressure there. They're finalists. He's worried that they're going to go somewhere, right? So he's already got that in the back of his mind. He already knows he likes these guys. So really, is he really likely to have expanded his search? The only reason he would have expanded his search is if somehow, Harbaugh came to be or something like that. He wasn't going to expand his search, so he basically was like ready to choose one of those 3 guys.
I'm sure he talked to Flores. Who the hell knows what Flores thought about coming here? And I'm sure at some point McDaniels has reached out to. It's just not Josh is going to go where he feels is perfect.
Right, but he also had his handpicked guy already. Like the marriage of a non-ESPN or I'm reading the comment, a non-Patriots executive and McDaniels was just not going to happen. Like there was no way. Like him and Ziegler are a package deal, and I'm sure the Patriots paid them handsomely. That's the other thing,
The Raiders, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, the Raiders. I'm sure the Raiders gave them the fucking bag. I don't know. So we found that out. Do we believe it? I mean, Biscuits, do you believe that Ryan Poles solely chose the guy he really, really wanted without any, undue influence from the rest of the collective?
Based on the limited information we have, yeah, I do.
But it was a little. Don't you think it's a little set up?
I mean, it wasn't Caldwell.
Yeah, I mean, if it was Caldwell, then I would have had bigger suspicions. But these guys have known since probably November. Their agents are telling them that they're going to be on the circuit of interviewing for jobs. They're definitely going in there with names for sure.
Speaking of agent, that's the other thing that people are talking about is like, is Trace Armstrong, and we've said this, like, how much is Trace Armstrong influencing from behind the scenes?
Big time.
And he was asked, they were asked, do you guys know each other because of Trace Armstrong? And they basically were like, well, and was like, yeah, obviously.
Dude, Trace Armstrong's representing everybody. He represents McDaniels. He represented Nagy.
Saying he's got a lot of power in the league right now, though. He's got a huge amount of power in the league, and we see how agents are running the NBA. I mean, it'd be interesting if that dynamic really, because we see the.
I guess who doesn't he represent in the coaching and GM world?
It's a fair point.
I don't know. It's tough. It's kind of tough to find to do that research. Like they don't really make it super.
No, but I just have every contract signed him. Like Trace Armstrong is his agent. It's like
and you see how that goes with the it's like Drew Rosenhaus. But we talk about agents with power. None of the agents in the NFL have the kind of power that like NBA agents have, and NBA agents have obviously an extreme amount of power. It'd be interesting if NFL agents, because of the way that these things go, gain power.
The union has more power in the NBA too.
The players' union, yeah. I mean, the players' union in the NFL is fucked. We've talked about this.
That plays into it
because the rank and file players are so below the top paid players. They don't give a fuck about taking care of those guys.
When the union's stronger, the agents have more pull.
Absolutely. Because they're representing the players. Absolutely. But it's just interesting. It's an interesting dynamic. I mean, have you ever heard of this coming up in past hiring cycles? Because I haven't. About talking about an agent representing the GM and the coach together. I haven't heard that. It could have happened, but it hasn't been a topic of conversation. So it's pretty interesting that it is
because
a topic of conversation.
He just has ties to the Bears. They didn't probably bring it up anywhere else.
Yeah, but the question, I think that because it came up, I think people are starting to think like, damn, is this guy like a kingmaker, kind of a thing. It's interesting. I mean, so Eberflus comes out. He rolled up in the G-Wagon. It was like War of the Stupid Drive-Up videos again today. You had Dable, like with the totally set up, like he gets out of that truck with his suit buttoned. Like I'm like, okay, that was a goofy video. And then we dropped like the the full Jeff Joniak interview with the intro with him rolling up in the Mercedes G-Wagon. So that was pretty cool. But dumb shit.
So going back to the presser for a second, remember when we all clowned them, George and Ted, for the mock interview that went down between Arians and Tressman, and Arians outright.
Oh, I know where this is going.
And fuck them, and that's why Tressman got the job. We laugh now and we question that process, or we laughed then and we question the process. And I think now we know why, because there are fans like you that put so much fucking stock into the press conferences that they felt the need to do a mock presser to appease people like you.
Well, fucking thanks.
You're welcome. I couldn't get that point in for 20 minutes. So I just wanted to get it in before Vartech hacked my power.
Hey, it's not my fault you had a fucking power outage.
I'm just saying, I don't give a fuck about what they say in the presser. I just want to see a comprehensive plan, just pure overreaction season, I think. And what? If he wants to cry, fucking cry. I'm gonna cry here pretty soon too.
Yeah. So Eberflus comes out. I mean, he's obviously a hand talker. He's all about the, this and that. He looks like, he's a big hand talker. He's fucking Johnny Acronyms. He's got his acronym fucking HITS. And I'm sure if he's got one acronym like that, he's got like 10, right?
Oh yeah.
Like
he's got motivational posters in his office.
Did you not like the hits?
Jesus Christ, guys! Let's see what they do first. Fuck.
Well, today the press conference happened. So if you want to talk about the future, what do you want to talk about? Well, it's game 3 and they're 0-2. Now we're talking about what happened today. The presser happened today. We can't fucking crack on it a little bit.
All right. Here was my favorite question of the day. George, did you drive to the airport yourself to pick up Ryan in a car? He's just like, yes.
They're
paid
just
$3 for parking.
The reporters
about Harbaugh.
You didn't pay $3 for parking.
I guarantee you that. They even brought up Harbaugh in the fucking press. It's like, Jesus Christ, guys, that's over.
Yeah, I mean, they honestly they really want to harp on the process. They really don't trust George. I will say this: it was big. It was a big thing for me that Ted did not have one word. He was not seen, and that's new. Like, this is different. Like they said,
he was present.
But dude, no, he was not present. He was there. But he wasn't involved. He was a spectator. That's a huge difference in the way that they did things, and it helped perception. Like, I don't think George came off bad today, really, at all. Like, and that's the first time I can say that in a long time. Like, I think he came off fine. Like,
real statement. The presser comes on, and my girlfriend looks at me and goes, "Why does it sound like we're at a wake?" And this was after. And I was like, no, honey, that's just the way George talks.
There was only one question that he fumbled, in my opinion.
George?
And that was the question of, what did you learn through the course of all these interviews about your organization, about what weaknesses, anything like that? And he just always went back to we have a great history. It just kind of...
That's all he knows.
But that does not tell me that you didn't really sit there and learn anything. I mean, maybe he's not going to give too much away, but I didn't like that stock answer.
He also said that listening to Polian and having this opportunity, he basically said, like it is, you have to come away from learning something just about football in general. I mean, we want the guy to know about football, and he really, for whatever reason, call it stupid, call it misguided, call it short-sighted, but he never he just never was like seems like he's never been a curious guy about football. Like, he just doesn't seem that interested in the minutia of it. And it's weird because he owns a team, but it's he doesn't.
This is a wild twist to me. Like, you're like, oh, George was fine. Polls, da 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 da. The other one's a hand talker. George was fine, though. I thought George was the weak link in the freaking interview. He's awkward as fuck. I don't want to hear from him. I'm just. I don't know.
Okay, fair, but I think for him, I was pleasantly surprised that that Ted wasn't there, and I thought George came off okay. That's all.
I've seen George weird as fuck when they brought up the Ryan and Matt thing.
Like he didn't even realize that he had hired a Ryan and Matt.
No, I think that's George staring stupid ass Mike Berman down in his
it was
Ned Flanders way.
Stupid interaction, but like he's just an awkward dude.
Now, I gotta sit here for a second and talk on that because it was fucking stupid. Like you don't bring the Twitter jokes to the presser. Like you're supposed to be a professional, and he's fucking really, George, Matt and Ryan again, ha ha ha. And George just looked at him like, "What are you doing, dude? Like you're an ass." And it just went over like a fucking lead balloon. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, they're trying to be like witty, these fucking newspaper guys, because now they all do this shit like we do, so they think they fucking got jokes. It's like, you don't, like, cut the bullshit. You don't got jokes. Like, the guys that held it down the most, I mean, shout out Herb from It's the Bigs, and shout out
really good.
Shout out Joe Flo Zandolini from 79th and Hallis, Barber Chair Network. Like, those guys came with good questions, Like they really had smart questions that I think got some good answers.
What about this one? Are you bringing the shirts, Flus?
Yo, I did literally almost had a spit.
That was funny.
I work in Bears Care.
Yeah, he's like, that dude had like this little nugget that he was so happy about. He's like, I found on the internet that they had shirts, and the shirt said "Ball Hawk," and he was so fucking happy. He couldn't wait to get that little gem off. And the guy's like, yeah, I might bring the shirts.
Have you all seen the shirt?
Hey, that ain't his girl, bro.
Yo. No, he's gonna be at Bears Fit, just fucking chilling. Like,
remember when he tried breaking news from Bears Fit? He saw some
he's like
cornerback or some shit.
Yeah, it's like I saw Buster Screen stretching, or like some shit. And like they took down the Mitch Trubisky picture.
No, but I mean, overall,
here at Bears Fit.
Overall, I think I think they did their thing. I think they showed they talked about the direction they want to go in.
Yeah, I like.
You know what I mean? I'm kind of like in wait and see mode, but like I think they both came off fine with me.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a net positive. I thought along the lines of fucking reporters trying to be slick, Potash tried to question the process and basically was like, can you explain to us how you chose your own guy and this is the guy that you chose? Are you sure that you really chose with autonomy your guy? And he was just like, yeah, I chose him. Like, what are you fucking talking about? And it was a good moment for him because he kind of like broke his shell a little bit at that moment.
Pace would have never.
The lineman come out of him.
Yeah,
it's just like, come on, man. Like, like I know what you're fucking doing. Like, I love Potash. He challenges them. That's cool. Now's not the fucking time. Like, I don't know if these guys were like off their game because they were like in a live presser for the first time in a long time. Like, we haven't really seen this whole introduction of Muggs Hallis Auditorium before. I don't recall. Like the way that they all introduced it. Al Jordan says George did treat Ryan to heavenly bodies after picking him up to seal the deal. Could you imagine George taking polls to the polls? like fucking.
Now this is where we make it rain. Yes, we make it rain here.
That was another human side of polls, though, the way he came back off of Potash. Like, Pace was just so freaking boring and calculated. And
I have great hair. Look at my hair.
Yeah.
Way more genuine than Pace. Oh, my God. Pace was like a fucking robot. Oh, I'm fired up.
And excited.
I'm so fired up.
And the same with Flus, man. He came off more real than Nagy ever did.
No, Flus had the juice, man. The Flus juice was real.
Sploosh.
Oh, sploosh on the floosh
Fucking
juice.
juice.
Soup!
They still can't say that dude's first name. They
Hey, you know what? No,
He doesn't
no,
need a
his name's
first
Soup.
name.
Yeah, he's just Soup, bro. He only has one name. He's like Pele.
every time they say it,
It's like
every time they say soup, is I end up screaming at the top of my lungs. Soup. It's
Oh,
hilarious.
I walk around my place going, soup.
It's an
I
amazing.
was in the car going
It's
soup.
a fucking amazing distraction they've created. Way to go, George. I don't think you meant to do that, but you did it.
I mean, as far as the staff's being built out too, we got Getsy. I mean, have you guys
Well,
heard any
that's
other
a-
names? I haven't been on the Twitter stream.
Getty,
Rowe, the cornerbacks coach.
yeah, Baranzi, what'd you call him, Benghazi? And that guy's gonna be the linebacker coach.
Joe Brady, rumors for quarterback coach, but
Yep.
nothing's concrete yet.
I mean, it's looking like it's just being worked out. I don't really see where else Joe Brady's gonna go. And
I wish the
connections.
Bisaccia thing would come back. Guess he's
It might.
interviewing down in Jacksonville, I think, for head
It might.
coach.
Jacksonville's fucking up their process so royally right now, so you don't know how all that's gonna shake out. Like,
Callahan for O-line.
yeah, Callahan for O-line, that'd be cool. Marinelli, we've talked about, but Marinelli and Bisaccia have been rumored to be, tied together. Marinelli basically said, "I'll go where Bisaccia goes. I want to see what." So Bisaccia is obviously not going to be the Raiders coach, so we'll see. Could be in play. Be interesting. I don't know anything about this guy who's going to be the defensive coordinator, the secondary coach
it'd be Marinelli if he wanted to come here.
It wouldn't. No, I don't believe he'd be the DC. They're already talking about that. They're going to hire the Indianapolis
Safeties coach.
They're going to hire. Yeah, they're hiring a DB coach, safeties coach off of Indianapolis to be the defensive coordinator.
Marinelli is more of a D-line guy anyway.
I don't think Marinelli wants to deal with being the coordinator. So that's the other thing that I think was very interesting today and more notable than all the BS about their personalities and all the analysis of that, which I admit is dumb, but. Is that he said he will not call plays. I thought that was important. I thought that was
very
a big deal. I think it's smart, and I hope that it's something that fucking George and Ted and Bill or whoever the hell talked to them said to them.
Why do we think it's smart for? So I was asked this question too because I thought it was a smart answer too. But like, why is it smart for a defensive coach? But if we got a top offensive mind in here, we'd want him to call plays.
Because it's, I guess I don't know, and I don't know that it should be, and I think I hope that it's changing. Maybe
Did we learn from Matt Nagy that you have to coach all of it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is I hope that they asked him
like 4 games before he got here.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that. I think it's complicated. I don't know if it has a lot of basis in logic.
Every situation is different. Just because it didn't work for Nagy, I mean, look at Sean McVay, look at Kyle Shanahan. There's other examples. I
just like it because like you're definitely hiring this guy because of his energy and because of his leadership and because of his rah-rah shit. And it's like if you're the defensive coordinator, you focus all that only on the defense and you leave the head coach to rah-rah the offense if that's his focus. But I don't know that you ever get. And I thought that, honestly, I thought Nagy actually did a very good job of getting all the guys unified in their support, And I think really where he lost them was how he treated Mitch. Because as much as Mitch had his problems, I think the whole team did really like him and did think Mitch got a raw fucking deal and knew that Nagy's shit. You know what I mean? So, you hired Eberflus because of that juice. So let that juice flow everywhere.
Well, I like the answer too about they question that we're trying to get Justin going here, and why would you bring in a defensive coach? But he had a really good answer for it, basically saying, I look at things from a defensive perspective, which can help him. Right. So we're game planning against an opponent. I'm seeing what that defense is doing. I'm bringing that to the table. He has a plan, and that's
reverse engineering an offense.
I mean, I think like he seems smart. He seems like he has good energy. He seems like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. He doesn't. He generally answered the questions, or at least his answers were pertaining directly to the questions, even if they didn't completely answer them, which is fine. Like I liked his energy. I think he's a good coach. Based on that a completely sort of arbitrary first impression. And I think Poles got more energy when he came up there, and I think that they seem to enjoy each other, and they seem to, and I think that's important. Like,
you should listen.
They actually seem like they talk and they actually have conversations.
Right, and you know what? We heard that Nagy
you
and
should
Pace
listen to Carmen and Yurko though, because like he was much more chilled out, and he was even getting into even talking how like his strategy and free agency. He's more of a day 3 guy. That's where you get your value, the guys that are trying to fight for the next contract. Like he kind of got into what, even draft wise, he'd rather get as many picks as possible. Like you got to feel for his mindset going into the offseason here.
Yeah, for sure, and I think he does have a wealth of experience. I like the fact that he's mentioned this before, that he's been through multiple GMs and multiple stages of the process. And I'm saying, like, obviously, it's not a Chiefs podcast, but he went through pre-Alex Smith, during Alex Smith, decision about Alex Smith, drafting of a new quarterback. I mean, he was there pre-Andy Reid, I'm pretty sure. Like, he's seen a lot for being at one organization for a long time, and he's worked. So I think that's important, and I think he's seen things at the different stages, and I think so. He has a wealth of experience, and I think that it'll serve him. And I think
go
it's
on YouTube. Go on YouTube too, and just like look up Ryan Poles, and you'll see videos of him actually breaking down the Kansas City drafts. And if it's a guy that was in that part of the country scouting, he defers to that guy so he can explain what he saw. Like he doesn't need all the shine. Like he gets everybody involved in the process. So the guys the guys that actually picked him out in their area of the country, they get to talk. It's not, and he'll admit, listen, this guy is who brought him to my attention. Like he's humble like that. Like it's a cool vibe, man.
And also, and it's smart because, you need your team. Like, if you have to have a good relationship with your scouts. If you never trust your scouts, like if you're just for whatever reason, every player a certain scout brings you think that scout's not going to get a little fucking discouraged.
Well, also, you brought up the Senior Bowl too about how urgency in hiring these positions is imperative, and it doesn't sound like any of the scouts that are currently here are going to be there long.
No, they'll be here for this draft cycle. You can't redo a whole scouting department this quickly. The scouts are already out there. They've already been out there. Like you can't.
It'd be interesting. I don't know how many more people he's going to change over in the front office. I don't think a ton more. I know, that obviously all the assistant coaches are gone. That was a given.
The retreats are out.
The retreats are out. They brought up an interesting point on the Football After Show with Cap and Hogue, however the fuck you say it. I'm going to butcher a third word. So they were talking about how in Kansas City there was more accountability with the scouts, where if they would bring them a scouting report and said, hey, this guy just doesn't drop passes, and they go back and watch the film as a group and you see a drop pass, they're calling that scout out. And Hogue said that was one of the things that he thinks was lacking during the Pace era, was that accountability amongst scouts, and maybe led to some of those iffy picks in the top rounds.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing, is if you're going to be the smartest guy in the room and whatever and be the GM, you have to check your people. And I think
not dragging them, but constructively.
Correct.
No, yeah, of course, but and it has to be teaching, or else you say I'm going to get rid of this person. But it has to be teaching, and just say, hey, like I know this part of your report. Just want to ask you about this because we happened to pull up this clip, and just want to see if you factored this into your statement about this player. And it's not like, oh, hey, fucko, you can't, you don't know shit because look at us. It's not a gotcha game, like. I just think it'll be interesting. Like, I think I'm not worried about him behind the scenes. Like, and I'm sure he's been a player before, so you know that he has that ability to go into like a player mode and talk like a player and be down and and like fucking get onto the a player's mentality and level. Like, so he doesn't have to be suit Ryan. He can be. And I'm sure he'll do some of that. I mean, even fucking Pace, in this awkward way, would try to be like, I used to play at Eastern, fucking. But I think Poles will have that ability to relate, and I think it's important.
I definitely think some of these scouts they have to stick though, because the college season's over. They've already done their work.
Oh, for sure. I don't think he's just gonna throw them away.
No.
And
national and area, regional and area scouts will definitely be here throughout the draft.
Yeah, and nor really should he. I mean, I unfortunately it sucks because
this also gives him the opportunity to evaluate them and see who he wants to keep, and then you start structuring things.
It's ironic, but and it doesn't really matter. But Pace did have a pretty good draft before he got fired. Like, I have a feeling that it's like how we would always point to. A promising draft. I think he had a promising
philosophy-wise, I agree.
Listen, like, he checked a lot of boxes. There were a lot of people that wanted certain guys in certain areas. I mean, he really checked off our whole list, my whole list. Like, we said he needed what he needed, and I thought he did a really good job of filling needs with those picks. Like, I mean, whether or not they panned out, I don't know if that's his fault, but I felt like when the draft ended, I think we all felt positive about it, right?
Yeah. Did we get a physical safety?
No, but he's failed to do that since Amos left.
Did we get a wide receiver?
Yeah, but you were short on draft capital. I don't necessarily think taking a franchise quarterback who's easily the most talented guy we've ever drafted the position and then following it up with 2 mammoth physical tackles is necessarily a bad draft strategy, though.
I didn't say it was bad, but I don't think he hit on every need we had.
No, I just saying he checked a lot of my boxes for the. Anyway, it's just the point is that I think a lot of these players, I think Borum and Jenkins for certain, and obviously Fields are going to be on this team for a long time. Like, and we're going to be talking about how those were Pace draft picks. Like, we talk about Kyle Fuller and Kyle Long and. Emory draft picks. That's all I'm saying. Like, I think his process is going to be good. I liked like I said, I liked Eberflus's energy, and I liked the way he was. He did have kind of a command the room aspect to him, which I thought was good. And he seems like got an edge. He's kind of a dick. Like, you need to be a dick. Can't be buddy. You can be friendly. You can't be friends.
Yeah.
Like, they're not your friend. Like, that you can't be friends with the players.
And that's kind of the vibe Nagy had.
Yep. And because he wanted so badly to be a player. Like, that's underlying everything. You're muted, Jer. Underlying everything with Nagy was the huge desire to play.
You remember going to training camp and he was throwing passes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
He never got over the fact that he never made it.
No. Everything about him, was like that, had that, like, I'm going to live my quarterback dreams by calling the plays for a quarterback. Like, the
press ate it up. It's like, oh, look at Nagy throwing passes. It's like,
of course, he was.
Why did he not say it?
Everybody ate it up. Everybody ate it up. That was exciting. At training camp, it was exciting. Turned out to be hollow because they lost. If Mitch Trubisky works out, we're
our coach throws passes and
like it's just about the results. The results made Nagy turn
for not seeing it.
No, it was no. No, we're not. We didn't get bamboozled at that moment.
We were hoodwinked.
Bamboozled.
We were led astray.
I don't know. In 2018, we were all pretty bamboozled because all of us bought into that shit.
But it was real. What was happening? Everybody believed in it. It wasn't
It was
It wasn't a
mirage.
snow job. Okay,
a
yes,
mirage.
maybe it was a mirage, but everybody believed the fuck out of the mirage. We all took a
Oh,
bath
for sure, absolutely.
in the water that didn't exist, and you wake up
To
and
the
you're
point
spitting
where
out.
if we made that field goal, we really thought we had a shot at something.
Yeah,
Kick
like
her away.
you wake up and you're spitting out sand, and it's supposed to be water in your mind.
But another thing I never heard from Nagy is stuff that Flus was bringing up today about accountability, about loafing. Like you never heard that shit from
Yeah.
him, ever.
Wait, what? Bluffing?
Well, and that's the
even
thing
whole,
is that
like the too friendly thing. We made Andy a promise. Thomas never breaks a promise. Like
Yeah,
what
like, get
fuck
the
are we,
fuck
like,
outta
in
here.
fucking preschool?
yeah.
Like,
You made him a
it
promise
fucked Justin
before
up.
you drafted Justin Fields.
You heard
Shit changed.
Justin from under the bus today. He's like,
It was
I
because
get
it was
to start off as a starter. It's a whole different ballgame.
because Justin is a good soldier and he tried to make the best of a bad situation. That situation was colossally fucked. The Andy Dalton plan was the most colossally fucked thing that Nagy may have done during his whole time here. What a crock of shit. And then he realized very soon that it was a crock of shit and he's asking George about it. And then he throws fucking Justin to the wolves, and I still don't know if that was passive aggressive or just gross negligence or both. Like, it literally almost gets him killed. What a pile of horse shit! And thank God Justin finally said something like, yeah, it'll be better because that was kind of weird. Yeah, it was weird. It was fucking horrendous.
You know what? Too, they brought Justin out. I was surprised as hell. Like that was a freaking awesome move by the Bears. Whoever decided to make that move.
I like the
That
tweet
was
you
big
put
time,
about
man.
that. Hey,
Oh, that's what I said. I said, listen, it wouldn't have done anybody any good because the media tried to get that bait out there too. Was how do you feel about Justin? What's your evaluation of Justin? Is Justin a franchise quarterback? Will you please tell us what you think of Justin so we can write an article about it, please?
Too early.
Like but there was been no good done by them being all effusive with praise and gassing this guy up. They wouldn't that wouldn't have served anybody. It didn't serve Mitch, and it would absolutely not serve Justin for them to go up there and be like, oh yeah, he's special. You're gonna see him in the top 10. He's gonna be. I mean, even the bullshit that Nagy said about the 202 and this and this and that. He didn't have to say any of that shit. All I had to say was, we're going to work, we're going to get better. And you know what? We're tired of that shit, but at least you don't dig your own grave. Like, with your words.
Did say today in his radio interview, they asked him, he goes, we know you don't have a first-round pick. He goes, we already do. It's Justin Fields. I love that.
And so the finish of my point was that the organization told you what they think of Fields by putting him out there. They are saying to you
when have you ever seen that?
It hasn't happened. Didn't happen with Cutler, who was at the end of a deal. Didn't happen with Mitch, who was the exact same situation Justin's in. And supposedly, I mean, I think they were definitely all in on Mitch. Like at that point in time, when Nagy was supposed to be the Mitch whisperer.
Mitch wasn't at the presser though.
No, what I'm saying is that this is a big fucking deal. The organization is telling you, this is our guy.
Yep.
It's important to us that he succeeds. I mean,
that wasn't talked about much either that I heard.
And that's all you had to see. Yep. Like, it's like, oh, you sending the wolf, motherfucker? That's all you had to say. Like,
I mean, tell me,
he
guys,
closed the presser. It went George. Go.
The owner stepped down and Justin came up.
Yeah, like it was George, Matt and Ryan, George, and then let me close this bitch, Justin. Like, and it was like, and he, I thought it was cool, and he was real, but he wasn't petty, and he doesn't like.
What was your reaction when you saw him step up, guys? Because I was like, oh shit.
I was like, holy fuck! It's the off season. He was willing to come in to Hallis Hall to do this. That's cool.
I thought it was cool as shit. I was hyped by it. Like, I was like, you fuck yes. Like, fuck yes. Let's see. I want to hear from this kid. Like, this is our fucking guy. Like, we've been down on him. We've been falling off. But you know what? This is our fucking guy. Like, and I was happy to see his ass. I was like, fuck yeah. Like, let's go.
What about you, Jared?
I was like, oh shit, look here. Look who's coming up. The man's coming up. It's like, all right. And then you just nailed it. When I saw your tweet, that nailed it. It was just like, that is the exact fucking way I felt. It showed everything that they felt about him.
BK says meat shield. Are you talking about Justin? They didn't make him a meat shield. Like they made him like the fucking face. Like this is our
South
fucking
Elgin.
guy. He's not a meat shield. That South Elgin 25 says I was shocked. I didn't know he was going to be there. Nobody knew. They didn't announce it. It was well done. Like that was like a oh shit moment a little bit. Like I don't think
There's a lot of people
knew.
mad about it, which I thought was super fucking weird
What?
for someone to be mad about that.
I think it's pretty transparent move. I think we saw.
I block all these people with those terrible opinions. Go ahead.
Take it all in as a whole. Yes, George did look pretty laid back, so you know he was extremely comfortable with the decision. I think he's a weird motherfucker, but he did look comfortable. He seemed better than normal, right? You had polls. He showed a vulnerable human side. You had Flu come in, like Flu came in and did his thing that we're all like, man, like I think overall they won the presser today. Like it wasn't perfect, you know what I mean? We could sit here and tear it apart, but I think what we saw today was a change, man. Like a change in mindset.
A unified front.
Yes.
A legit
George.
unified front. Legit.
Ted out of the picture. Ted, who the fuck? I don't give a fuck. Ted, you're somewhere eating peanuts. Fucking entertaining Ryan Pohl's kids. You know, whatever you're fucking doing. You're off to the side. George is in charge. George fucking loves Ryan. Ryan loves George. Ryan loves Matt. I mean, it's like Matt and Ryan and George all over again, but you know what? Like, whatever the fuck. And they all are behind Justin, and Justin's on board, and let's fucking go. That's all. Let's fucking go. You know,
it doesn't mean we're fully bought in. We need to see results. Right?
No, but let's fucking go.
Exactly.
Like, as a Bears fan, you already made a choice to root for George. Now you're bad about it. You chose this life. So don't fucking cry and be like, I'm done. And, they talk about his history. You chose this life. Okay?
Rooting for George is a little strong there. I don't think anyone.
Hey, but you root for the Bears.
George.
Yeah, but the whole self-loathing, put yourself on a cross aspect of Bears fandom, fuck that shit. Like, you know,
bro, every one of us has been there though.
I mean, and yeah, but I want to, you know, when he started saying find the wise, I mean, we all died a little bit inside.
No, he said tell them the wise.
Tell them the wise.
Whatever. He was okay. Tell them the wise. At least he knew the wise. So that's actually a good point. It wasn't find the wise. He was like, I'm going to tell them the wise. Yeah. And the wise is that's your loafing, motherfucker.
Hey, we found the wise, at least.
At least he found them. That's a great point. I think everybody reacted to that as if it was find the wise, but really it was like show them the wise, teach them the wise.
Like basically, he might have been shitting on Nagy like low key, and we didn't even pick up on it.
He's like an owl.
Gotta love that.
Fucking,
you know what I mean? Been like, motherfucker, we're not looking for the wise. We're gonna know the wise.
And Mark Potash is like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop?
3, motherfucker. Owl. 3.
A 1. A 2.
How do you know?
A real singer for him, and Poles was like, "Oh my dick."
Yeah. Motherfucker, I chose him. Potash was like, ah! He didn't say a fucking word after that.
Potash gets into his 86 Honda Civic while like our dudes are getting in like Mercedes.
Yeah.
Hey man, he's been the bully on the block. He's been our voice on a couple of things. And it's nice to see that the bully got bullied. It's like, okay, we might actually have strong leadership for once.
No, but when shit's going bad, Potts is actually refreshing.
No, he's great. I mean, he's great. He's fucking great. Like, it was a moment he got dunked on and he would admit it, I think. Like, you know, it's like fucking, you know, like Haw when George tried to flame him a little bit and Haw was just like, not today, motherfucker.
Like, but he did it smoothly. I kind of like the kickback, man. Like, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How'd you guys feel about the questions about the contract lengths, and then Hoag's follow-up question of that, where he specifically mentioned when they announced Ryan Pace's extension, what changed?
Yeah,
How do you guys feel about that?
He trumped George on that one. George thought he had a good answer, but Hoag was like, hold on.
I mean, their contract length doesn't really.
I don't
care.
Go ahead,
No.
Chair.
I don't think it matters. You can have a 6-year contract, though. You fuck up bad enough, they're going to send you home.
They're probably.
I think we
there's
learned
probably
that.
3. I'm assuming
They
3
loved
years.
Matt, and they loved the original Matt and Ryan. They loved them. But guess where they at now? They ain't in office.
I think because, and this would be interesting to find
We're
out.
not hearing numbers on any of the coaching deals. It's not just
No,
the Bears.
True.
that is odd.
So Hogue came back at him, was like, "Well, you did say it," and George is like, "Well, it's the wishes of Ryan and Matt that we don't say it." Oh, so it's not a policy change.
No, he
Got
said
you.
they
So
could
you
talk about it
lied.
if they wanted to.
Yes, they can talk about it, but he said before Hope got him, he said we don't do that anymore, as if it was a organizational decision that we do not say that, because they didn't say it after Pace and Nagy got extended. Now the question is do we deserve to know how many years are on their deal? I don't fucking care. I don't really even want to know.
You would think because it's a business, there would be some form of public record.
I think Trace Armstrong, if he's a good agent, got them 5 years. If Trace Armstrong is a good agent and he is controlling 2 candidates that the Bears desperately want, and he settled for a 3-year deal for 2 guys who were top candidates, Poles especially, was a top candidate, and if he only got him a 3-year deal, because that's the price. Whether you want to say it, they're there for 10 years and they get a 10-year deal, the price is $100 million. You want me to come to work for you for 1 day or 10 years? The price is $100 million unless you could fire me for cause. So whatever. If he's getting $5 million a year for 5 years, $25 million, that's the price. And I think if he got him less than 5 years, then Trace did a bad job. And I think they'd be smart to match them up. That's all. And so it wouldn't surprise me if they're both on 5-year deals. Do I fucking care? I don't. And I don't really want to know any of the details on it. I mean, we're so obsessed with whether or not the Bears will pay Harbaugh $100 million. Like, I don't think Harbaugh's their style of guy. Their style of guy is Ryan Poles and Ryan Pace. You know, like, I don't think it really matters about Harbaugh and the money.
You and Diddy have been all over that here for like a month now. You know, the egos and the personalities that a McDaniels and a Harbaugh brings, just it really isn't their type of guy.
No. It's important to them. The type of guy and the type of person they hire is important to them, and it holds them back from winning more football.
I'm trying to hold back on the whole Josh thing, man.
I didn't
Say
mean to
what you mean to say.
No, I was just like, come on. Like,
I will say this: I did watch a little bit of the Daboll presser, just clips, and I watched clips of the McDaniels presser. With fucking.
Were you late to the Daboll press conference?
Daboll's not a good speaker, dude.
No, but I actually like the clips that they put up. I think he had some good things to say. He wasn't bothered. You know, he didn't bother me.
Addressed pretty much everything.
Yeah, McDaniels I thought was really forthcoming. I think he's well aware of his shortcomings, which is ridiculous because he's also had so much success. So he didn't have to be as humble and sort of real about his issues, with being that he ran out on the fucking Colts after accepting the job. I mean, like, I thought he was good, but you know what? He used a lot of coach speak too, and I'd be interested to know if, like, he got ripped for it, pulling on the rope from the same. I mean, these people speaking cliches because that's part of the fucking milieu and the language of sports is these cliches. Like,
cliches are true.
Yeah, but this is like cliches are language to coaches.
Yes.
Like cliche. The reason there's cliches is because coaching is about repetition.
I think you guys would like. I think like Joe Brady, if he's a quarterback coach, we're not going to hear from him. But he is the kind of guy. He's 32 years old, still a bright offensive mind. Like, if the whole thing everybody complaining about, well, if we get a hot OC, he's going to leave. We need a OC as a head coach. Bullshit.
I love that problem.
If you get a guy like Brady, though, he could take over. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you build the culture.
But I think what I was going to say is, like, I know you guys like McDaniel from San Francisco, his whole vibe. Brady's young, and like if you listen to his press conferences, I think you guys would like his vibe also. Like he's a young, smart dude. Just like he has that vibe like McDaniel a little bit.
I think
Go ahead.
I think a lot of older Bears fans are going to have to change their vision of what a coach is.
Yeah.
I think they have
How
a
much
very
older?
set in a
I
way.
mean, we're in our 40s.
I mean, there's a certain vision of what a coach is to me, to you. When we were in school, it was different, and now you see these coaches now. It's a completely different ballgame.
Right.
I kind of feel like Eberflus matches sort of maybe what the older Bears generation.
Yeah, they're enjoying the old meathead Bear fans are enjoying the fuck out of this dude talking about accountability and they're fucking they're into Flus. They're drinking the Flus juice like fucking.
Flus brought up Olin during the press conference too, didn't he?
Yeah, George could have probably killed him for that.
It was funny. I was like, when he was talking about the 06 team, bringing about the superstars.
I thought he mentioned a good thing, too, about the alumni. And I also think that that's something that I feel like Nagy did an okay job of involving the alumni. I don't know if they did a great job. I think George, and I think especially Ted, is a roadblock to that type of thing. I think Ted is very thin-skinned, and Ted remembers everything that was ever said about him. Like, he's got a little bit of, like, Jerry Krause in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great point.
And I feel like he's been the one that's been the roadblock of having the alumni back. And now they've done better. Don't get me wrong, they've done better. But I thought it was smart for Eberflus to kind of try to snuff that Olin feud a little bit, Yeah,
well, if you watch, they did the football after show thing, just a reaction to the presser, and like. This is Olin, man. Like I loved Olin as a player. The whole thing about the $15, whatever, we've discussed that to a point of
rolling with Olin.
Right, rolling with Olin. So they bring that up. They bring up what Cole said, like when he was undrafted and they had that warning and they had to get into safety, and he talked about all the Bears players that he was in the room with. They brought that up to Olin on the show, and he just kind of like he was basically saying like these guys. The Bears, like basically the legendary Bears back then. It was cool to be around them, and like Olin just didn't even say anything about it. It's like they're kind of shouting you out, bro. Like
Olin's embracing this thing that he's got going on because it's getting him attention, and he also is petty as fuck. Olin is petty as fuck, and Olin takes things really personal, and Olin's a grudge holder.
Olin wants 100% of the T-shirt sales.
Yeah, he's a grudge holder, and that's fine. But I think it was smart for Eberflus to try to.
There's an underlying dig there. You'll just have to.
That's a midget joke. Okay.
He just I just
think
think
burners out there too, but that's a whole nother
thing. No, they're really interested in Bitcoin. Yeah. Fucking it's just I'm just a Bitcoin guy who follows everyone in the Tape Never Lies network and fucking likes all their tweets and retweets them and says, "You guys are the best." I'm just that guy. Oh, anyway. So
you're welcome.
Burners are alive and well. That's all I gotta say. In the year 2022.
Sounds like a man who has a burner.
Hey.
Boy, you're throwing shade.
I'm fucking upfront about my shit.
A parody burner is different than faking it for somebody.
Yes.
I'm just mad that you roasted my tortellini soup. So I'm just coming after you hard tonight, man.
So what's your Twitter handle?
Pepka comes the floor. What? Which one?
No, biscuits and gravy. Like he's popping off about burners.
Yeah, you have an anonymous profile yourself.
Anonymous. I'm a public figure on Twitter.
You're not until Jer made that website. You're not a public figure.
I'm on Jer's fucking banner header.
Was he one of the young? Remember that chat? Remember that chat back when we were with the second network? There was a chat of young dudes that you're like, oh yeah, you added me, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Wasn't Biscuits in that chat?
I don't know.
No. Listen, I'm a one-man thread guy, okay? I am not in multiple threads here.
All right, I could have sworn you were.
Well, whatever. Just don't shit on me. Hey, a real burner is like one that fakes interactions and fakes, like it's you use it to like fucking pump people up or like fucking and not trolling and any of that, but you like pretend that you're something. You legitimately pretend you're somebody else.
The Barstool method.
Yeah,
they built themselves with burners.
Yes.
So I have a burner that's not a burner because I'm me, but I burn everything. Some deep psychological stuff right there.
Full circle.
George McCaskey liked that joke.
I don't know if the Brady worship or the food takes are worse. Like,
huh?
I don't know what's worse, the Brady worship or the food.
Yeah. Okay. So I roasted.
So
this motherfucker thinks he is going to retire. It's just going to be on his terms.
Fraud. Okay, he's a fraud.
Who's a fraud? Schefter?
Yeah. Brady was on a podcast tonight and said that he hasn't made a decision yet.
He's going to make his decision.
So Ian and Schefter are both frauds.
Frauds. Big time. Didn't we learn that with the whole Rodgers escapades this past offseason?
Rodgers might come back.
Shefty was very adamant that Rodgers was not going to be a Packer this year. That's why Packers Twitter's all over his ass.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He feels the pressure sometimes. Even the mighty Schefter gets got and feels the pressure sometimes.
I just don't think Brady wanted to. I give him credit for this because at first I was like, "Why is he trying to distract like the playoffs and all?" I think he just wants to wait till the season's over to or put it on his like last episode of the.
I don't really fucking care. Like even if he stays another year, I don't fucking care. Like whatever, man. Like. That's
doesn't care. Gets this emotionally triggered about it.
Don't even fucking talk shit about anything when it comes to Brady because, like, you are the simpest, most simp stan motherfucker for this guy. Oh my god, bro! Like
it's Brady hate I'm drinking right there. Brady,
yeah, exactly.
Like around here, I've never heard anybody call Tom Brady Lord Brady, and that's even when he was with the Patriots.
Yeah, like I thought you were joking about that, and then like it came to light that you really have like a separate room that looks just like this, but it's all Brady.
I do not.
It's his bedroom.
That's an idea, though. It's a good idea.
It's one that you would do.
It's his bedroom sheets.
If you get, I did Brady.
They're a little sticky.
Those ESPN the magazine naked but covered with a football thing. They use all over that.
Yep.
It's because of people like you. My love just gets stronger. Like the haters just fuel
the test of any true love is just like tough times, right?
That's right.
You and Brady your marriage is being tested right now, but you're gonna stay strong.
Hey, we'll see.
Biscuit's jealous of a 12-year-old boy. I'll tell you that.
Love conquers all.
No, now come on now. It's the one thing in the thread that I've admitted is undefendable. It's fucking weird. So no.
We should try to put him in the picture instead of Robert Kraft after that Super Bowl. Him and Brady are kissing and put Biscuits in there.
If given the choice, this upcoming season, Biscuits, Brady comes back and wins another Super Bowl, or Justin Fields throws for 5,000 yards and 35 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. You can only have one of those things.
Option B. As much as I love Brady, I'm a Bears fan.
There you go.
All right. Thank God, bro. You can stay. You can stay.
You must have been a mess when the rumors were he might come to Chicago.
Did you not see my timeline on that? Oh, I thought you meant on this weekend.
No,
I was
before he went to Tampa. Oh my God.
I went from about to jump off a bridge to shit talking everybody, including you guys.
Oh, I was trying to push you right off the bridge.
You got me really close. Not gonna lie, you and Diddy both. It really had.
Yeah, I was out there trying to push you, bro. Like, get the fuck off this bridge. Go, get in the water. Drown that Brady fandom.
But yeah, dude, that was pumped, by the way, that offseason where it was rumored that we were one of the options.
Did you really believe it?
No. I mean, I was hoping.
So how pumped could you really get?
But then the report comes out afterwards that we were his second choice.
Which is insane. I don't know if I still believe it.
I don't know if I do either. I don't know. But no,
I wish-
I did not think he was going to come play with A-Rob and Darnell Mooney. No fucking way.
I wish that there was like a multiverse that we could find out, though. You know, like if we could go and like watch the whole, like, what if you could watch Brady play with the Bears and you get to watch the whole shit how it plays out.
I just wish we're not in position to, and we're not going to move up to do it. But man, I would love one of those Ohio State receivers.
Yeah, that would be
Justin,
nice.
man.
It's going to be tough.
I know.
No, like, what they talk about, building through the draft. We've got to find a way. There's assets out there to move up, move down, acquire picks. There's a lot of holes on this roster.
Well, that was one of Poles' lines. We're gonna merge evaluation with valuation.
Good quote, Cole.
Reevaluation.
You don't want to overpay for free agents, though. That's not
No, you
the
don't.
recipe for
No, absolutely.
I guess the Rams are the exception to the rule.
Ultimately,
it's kind of crazy.
if you're in the free agent market too heavy, it's because you're trying to play catch up because of injuries, or you're trying to fix mistakes. Very rarely, do you see teams that go to free agency and it puts them over the top. They try. I can't think of a guy. Obviously Cutler, the trade. I think Peppers was a huge signing for the Bears. Other than that, they haven't really had. Like A-Rob, we thought was like going to be a huge signing, and he had a moment there where it looked like he was.
And he decided to tweet before the presser too. Some freaking.
What did he tweet?
No, A-Rob.
Yeah, what did he tweet though? I don't know.
I'll look it up. Keep going. Yeah,
he's fucking. I don't know. He's gone.
Something like you learn lessons and
lessons learned and whatever the fuck, like whatever, man. Like you're not fucking slick with your fucking subtweets. Like
I'm good with him going.
Have the Bengals smashed all preconceptions of how you need to build a team around your quarterback?
Not yet.
Even reaching this point?
Not yet.
I mean,
I throw it to you three. I'm just curious to hear your thoughts on that.
Go ahead, Jarrett.
Seen Aaron Rodgers do it for a lot of years now, haven't we?
Yeah, they have an offensive line, though. That's not a good comp.
Not really.
What?
I don't know, man. What Jordan Stanovich really got.
They have been an offensive line factory. They just put out, and he's not guys you necessarily heard of.
Not in the past. I'm just saying.
Who?
During the whole time Rodgers has been there, he's had great offensive linemen.
And a great offensive line coach.
Yeah, like say what you want about his skill position and their lack of putting that around him, but he has had a fucking great offensive line. That's not a good.
All I'm saying is that he makes them better. He makes them better with the way he moves.
In the playoffs, right?
I just listen.
He was so great. They won how many games in the playoffs? 0. Okay, great offensive line. Got it.
Okay, they're all pro left tackle went out. We would be fucked.
Yeah, and that guy who stepped in there played a hell of a fucking season.
Well, that's part of the talent, though. Like that's what I'm talking about. Is they don't miss a beat, and I know that's partly Aaron Rodgers or whatever, but they don't miss.
Go look at them when they played Kansas City, and you see how that offensive line was. And then you tell me.
Obviously, the quarterback helps, but
that's what I'm saying.
The point.
That's the closest comp that you can have to.
Okay, but I think that also makes the point that yes, it has shifted the paradigm, and this is a copycat league.
I don't think it has.
So,
I think you need to see him. We need to see how that line holds up against the Rams, and then we'll know. Okay, this is the way to build a team. If he gets sacked 10 times in the first half, it's not.
The core rules of football being won in the trenches are not going to change. But I'm telling you that there are going to be copycats. We're trying to be a copycat right now. You are saying that you would like Olave. We want to replicate the Jamar Chase.
We drafted a left tackle and a right tackle.
I agree.
What about so I think a better comp outside of the Packers would probably be the Seahawks during the Schneider and Carroll, run there, that 2-year run. Their offensive line was not very good.
Nope. It was good enough for us to think that we should get Jermaine Ifedi, though, right?
There you go. That's the name.
And I do want
dumpster diving.
I want to Olave like the day is long.
Just saying, you can scheme. I mean, what Cincinnati did this past weekend, you saw a lot of those long developing routes stop, and they went to the short game to help out their offensive line. And you got guys that can make plays after the catch. And I think if you're looking
ultimately,
at Fields,
when
that's
you have
what
a guy, when you have a top 5 guy, and the quarterback has an amazing connection with them, that is so potent. You see it with Stafford and Kupp. You see it with fucking Jamar Chase and fucking Burrow. You don't
Watson with Hawkins a couple
you
years
see it
ago.
with Kelsey and Mahomes. I don't know that, like, the connection that, well, I guess you see it with Kelsey, you see it with Tyreek, but it's not like, quite as
Justin
apparent.
Jefferson, another guy, Justin Jefferson.
Right. It's just so important,
Adams.
and Fields needs that. We have one good receiver on this team, and it's Darnell Mooney. He is not a number one.
Jefferson was on the LSU team too. That team was so fucking
nasty.
So sick. I mean, one of the best teams ever. Like, so many guys came out of that, and they're just sick. Like, I mean, Burrow, I was telling you, man, like, everybody overthinks this shit. You could see Burrow play one time and know that dude.
Macaulay Culkin looking fuck.
But dude is just a fucking winner, and everybody overthought that shit about Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson was a fucking winner, and Deshaun Watson was a badass when he came in the league, and that shit matters. Like, playing on a big stage in front of fucking the whole country and big games, that shit matters, and winning those fucking games matters.
It does matter, but those guys, the guys that won national championships, you think it's overthinking, right? It's because those guys have failed in the past.
How does Joe Burrow's success make you feel about Justin Fields and his lack of?
It's too early to tell. They fucking couldn't even do it right, Jared. They didn't even give him first team reps.
I'm just saying.
It gives me hope the same way that Josh Allen gave me hope. It does not make me feel bad about Fields. It makes me feel like I see these guys, Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, and I know that Fields can do everything they're doing if they got him those weapons and they got him some protection. He can do everything. Joe Burrow tried to give that game away like 2 different times, and then he made a great play afterwards. He's incredibly resilient, but don't if
that interception was pretty bad that he threw on the sideline.
Yes. That was shit. And if Jaquiski Tart or whatever the fuck, catches that horrifying duck that Stafford threw, horrifying throw. But everything's different. Yeah, I understand, but Stafford and Burrow, everybody's on their nuts right now. But both those guys had oh shit moments. Yeah. And they also made fucking great plays. But don't act, this isn't like Joe Montana and the fucking, Dwight Clark catch. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys had fucking crazy up and down games, and they made enough plays to win. But I don't know. Like, I think we're jocking Joe Burrow a little too hard, and I like him a lot, and he's got a bright ass future, and he's a winner. But he was getting his ass kicked, and he also made some decisions that were pretty fucking questionable at times.
I'll tell you, the best thing the Bengals have is their defensive line is so good. They can rush 4, and they can play coverage, and that's what fucked Kansas City. At first, Kansas City had them blocked up. Second half, they couldn't block them. Could not block them.
Yep. And you know what? They fucking have shit-talking ass Eli Apple who gets me keep talking shit. He went in on the Saints fan base and the Giants fan base and was talking shit.
That's a little interesting. Him and Odell.
Yeah, I thought the whole Odell angle was very interesting. I mean, he came up big
Odell
in this
and Eli
game.
Apple might be kind of interesting.
Yeah,
I hope he matches up against Odell because Cooper Kupp's gonna fucking roast him.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, I think both games were great. I mean, Kansas City giving up that lead, up 21-3. I mean,
they should be roasted like the Falcons were in the.
I thought that game was over when they got to 21-3. I said game over.
Andy Reid had the worst weekend.
I don't think the Bengals O-line can hold up against the Rams. It's a whole different they just got off playing San Francisco. It's gonna be like a cakewalk.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think I think Aaron Donald.
I'm not going to compare the Chiefs to the Rams front seven, but the Chiefs are no
Right.
slouches up
What?
front though either. I mean, Chris,
And I also
Chris Jones is a hell of a force.
I'm not talking about their defense.
Who?
I'm talking about the Rams'
Chris
defensive line
Jones.
versus the Bengals.
Chris Jones.
It's so. I agree.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
said
The
about-
Bengals had to go up against a decent Chiefs front there, did he? I know it's not the same as the Rams front, but
I said about Jaquiski Tart, Jalen Ramsey dropped a sure interception.
sure did. Yeah.
Like pick 6.
Well, the
But,
Rams
you know,
guys
so-
dropped one right in the end zone too.
Yeah. You know,
But to answer Jared's question, I feel I'm with AA. I feel more hopeful about Fields than anything.
Yeah.
Bengals have 3 wide receivers that are better than anybody we have, and their tight ends better than anybody that we have. I think I look at this situation of Justin Fields in his rookie year, similar to Josh Allen, before he had what was it, John Brown and Cole Beasley. That first off season after he struggled, they went out and got those 2 guys. Then they added Diggs later, and I think that's the formula. I think it surround him with talent. I feel good about it.
yeah.
Yeah, BK is not feeling the Bengals at all.
No, he hates the Bengals.
He said great analysis, Jay.
BK, what the fuck? Holy fuck, that's not how that game went at all. Come on now. This ain't Madden, BK. I know you're the Madden champ, but fucking this is what happened. That Rams 49er game, that Rams 49er game was a street fight. Like, it was ugly at times.
Biscuits is looking for his Brady replacement in Burrow. Tell me you're not.
Joey Brrrr.
Cigar already. You're
the man won me a fantasy championship this year, so I gotta support him a little bit.
Joey Burr won you the nice.
Put some money in my pocket. I had him that week that he went for like 506 touchdowns.
Joey Burr, I like that. That's good.
Joey Burr. I mean, what's wrong with Burrow?
About to
You
get
got root for a former Lion.
I fucks with Burrow. I like him. He's an exciting young player.
As far as my analysis goes, how many times did Mahomes said 7 and 8 seconds and didn't throw the ball?
True.
People were covered.
Mahomes choked.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Rushing
Mahomes kept
4.
spinning around and then spinning right back to the spot where he left.
BK.
That was horrifying. Yeah.
We're talking about how great the Bengals front 4 is, but
They're
Mahomes
good.
had 8 seconds to throw. How many times?
Because he kept running and spinning.
No, because they rushed 4 and they played coverage, and the coverage was good.
Yes. But they also got to him and he was running for his life. He was running for his life. And he was and they wouldn't fucking run the ball.
The field goal.
They were averaging 6 yards a carry on the run, and they're daring them to run, and they don't fucking run. Anytime, it was terrible. It was a terribly called second half, and Mahomes choked.
Oh, he choked.
Play right before halftime too. He has to know at this point that you got to throw that ball in the end zone or outside of the end zone. You cannot throw it to
terrible.
There with
if they had scored at the end of the half and gone up another touchdown,
or even 3 more points.
That read system's fun when it works, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing is they keep going to the well, and that's the same shit Nagy used to get in trouble for. He's like, I don't care what's going on. I know that if we hit these big plays, it'll change the game. And it's like you just can't.
All they had to do is hit Kelsey. Just hit Kelsey short. He was open the whole fucking game.
Yep.
It's like throw it to Kelsey.
But Mahomes is this big play mentality. I'm gonna hit the home run. I'm gonna end this game and shock the world 60 yards instead of doing what they fucking. It's like, well, how do they come back and win the game? Last week they had little plays. They ran the ball.
Josh Allen's tweet during the
game.
Pain.
Yeah, because he's like,
hey, look, defenses matter in the overtime, huh?
Defenses matter all the time. I mean. The fucking
everybody's
Bills
bitching about the overtime rule.
The Bills defense was just back on. The Bills defense was shell shocked. They could not believe they were in overtime.
All right,
they could not believe that they let them kick the field goal, and they could not believe they were in fucking overtime. They were shell shocked.
Little inside information from a Bills player. I'll just throw this out here. At the end of the game, they wanted the kicker to kick short of the end zone, but they never told him.
Really?
he kicked it and gave them the ball to 25. They wanted him to kick it short. That was the plan.
Well, yeah, because nobody could understand that. Why didn't they squib kick it?
How do you
Not like
forget to
full
tell
on
the kicker?
squib, but like that's I don't know. But how as a kicker do you not know? Like that's an inexperienced player.
They didn't. tell
Robbie
him.
Gold knows to do that without being told. I mean, he's still waiting for the.
You see Robbie Gold try and body up Jalen Ramsey, by the way.
Robbie Gold's the man, bro. What a
Awesome.
fucking Robbie Gold's the man.
I'll give him that much.
They fucking rode Robbie Gold all the way to the NFC Championship. Pause. Like,
And then Frazier went soft on the defense too. He played off too far, way too far. Like,
Why are you playing the sidelines when the Chiefs still have 2 timeouts?
do you think?
That was
I don't know.
dumb.
Do you think that Jimmy Garoppolo is a full-time starter again anywhere ever?
Yes.
I think, yeah.
Where?
He might still be in San Francisco.
Supply
Depending
and
on-
demand of quarterbacks, he'll be starting.
Such a
Go ahead,
mistake.
Jared.
If they keep him next year and pay him $25 million, such a mistake. He
I don't
is
think it's going to
terrible.
be San Francisco. I think he looked like a guy who knew that ride was over there. It's
Yes.
going to be the Trey Lance era there.
He was horrible.
What about a
Like-
place like Washington?
Oh, they wanted to. Oh my God, they really.
Well,
I
they
mean,
just-
They're not all in
They-
on Tyler Heineke. Or
yeah, but
People
they
are
just came
stupid,
out and
but-
said they're going to take a big swing on a quarterback. That was a rumor that came out today. If that's Garoppolo,
Oh,
can
really?
you imagine trying to sell that? Like,
That's rough. Like I could
Yeah.
see like maybe going
Carolina.
to the Steelers as no, not Carolina. As the Steelers as like a stopgap.
a backup for McDaniels in Vegas, maybe.
I think he'll start somewhere this year. I think there's enough quarterback.
I think you're more likely to see Mariota. I think you're more likely to see Mariota and Mitch starting than you are to see Garoppolo. Maybe that's
Garoppolo's
Oh.
better than both of those guys. That's
Wait a
crazy.
minute.
I don't know. I think Mariota is easily as good as Garoppolo if he had a chance.
Mariota is ass.
No, he's not. He's
Mitch,
not ass.
Mitch or let's play Mitch or right
No,
here.
I'm not playing. that
No, we're not
shit.
playing Mitch Orr. Fucking no Mitch Orr.
I take the or.
Game over.
Speaking of
Grand
game over,
opening, grand opening,
He's
grand
probably going to
closing.
he's going to the Giants to compete with Duke Mitch.
BK, good question. Are the Bing Gals, Bing Bong, the worst team in recent history to reach the Super Bowl?
Ooh.
How? No.
no. They're at least they're offensively explosive.
The other Jimmy Garoppolo 49ers were worse when they made the Super Bowl.
I don't disagree.
That's a fair point, actually.
The Giants team that got blown out with Kerry Collins, that was pretty
Yeah,
bad,
that
too.
was terrible. And I don't know if BK even counts that as recent history, but maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's been some bad
God,
Giants.
Jared, that wasn't recent. Frig, that was like over 20 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry. Define recent. I'm old, fucker.
Yeah, he's still living in '86 with that last Hoosier championship.
Who else? I mean, I don't know who else has really been bad. I mean,
Love you, Jared. I'm just joking.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm still waiting on the Coastal Championship when they go and raise their banner.
We just won a baseball national title.
All right.
Oh,
you
did
know
you?
what, Jared? I'm going to give you credit, Jared. That's the first time
4
I've heard
years
you
ago.
shoot down.
I don't think the Bengals are bad. Number one, I think they caught, I think they caught lightning in a bottle, and I think that they are playing well.
But what about that Eagles team? Like they went on an all-time heater, but if we
Yeah,
matched up
that's
both
true.
those rosters, I think I'm taking the Bengals.
John Fox's Panthers.
Ooh.
Oh wow!
Good call. That's a good call.
Yeah.
No, that Eagles team was better than the Bengals, man. Come on.
You think so?
Because it was just basically Cam Newton in the defense.
I don't know, man. I think that Eagles team just caught fire at the right time. I mean, maybe you're right.
Oh, they pulled the Giants used to do that shit. They'd really squeak in and then they'd win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, like the Ravens with Flacco that year. He went on
Yeah.
that heater.
That's how it works, man. You get on a heater. That's why Bengals got to. What the fuck?
Jake Del Homeless is definitely a good answer.
Who's doing a podcast from a restaurant?
Yeah, someone's.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on
dishes.
right now. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe we should wrap this up.
Somebody's throwing dishes and shit.
They said, "Damn it!" Oh, is that the mutant?
Ma, the meatloaf.
Suit? Is that the mutant too? Is that no? Okay.
But anyway, I
gotta see if my dog is like chewing the house apart. I'll be right back.
A little bit of
we'll just shut
mambo
it
in
up.
your life.
now we can shut it down, fellas.
How about that? All right, everybody talk. Everyone hurry.
No, I mean overall, man, I'm happy. I'm happy with the direction. I think we gotta wait. We're of course wait and see, but like it's refreshing. We met new faces today, and I feel like we're going in a much better direction than I did with 2 games left in the season.
Oh, God,
You know what I mean? So
they're very much the anti-Matt and Ryan. I think they're actually genuine. I don't think there's anything too much fake about these guys. And this is very much an outsider, but it's just maybe they got something right for once.
After 3 years being negative, I'm going to be positive until they show me differently. Because this might be our only opportunity to be positive for a while.
We just went through almost 8 years of Ryan Pace. Like I said before, like you chose this life as Bears fans. So if you want to be negative about this, have at it. But geez, fuck, like calm down. Like
it's easy to get negative. We need this to work, though. We all need this to work. Justin's future's in the balance of this. Like we need this to work.
Get negative when like you have a good reason. Fine, go dark. I'll go dark with the best of them. But like right now in this moment to be negative, it's just like you're just trying to be an ass. You know,
it's like, the good old.
I
get that 4-3.
I get some of it because you hear a name like Harbaugh going to Minnesota or Duty McDaniels going to Las Vegas, and I get it. There might have been more names out there that you would have wanted more, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this won't work out either.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
I mean, are you really gonna be that pissed if Harbaugh ends up in Minnesota?
I'll be a little pissed, but not because we didn't hire him, but because the fact that he ended up in Minnesota. Yeah, with that roster, man, I'd be pretty worried about Minnesota adding Harbaugh, 100%, especially in a year where Rodgers may be gone.
What does you think Harbaugh adds? What does Harbaugh add to that team?
Fangio.
Are you serious? Yeah, are you kidding me? He's going to assemble a good staff there. There's plenty of offensive pieces for Jim to work with. I don't know, man.
So Jim's this big offense builder?
No, but I think what you saw is him build a sustained level of success in San Francisco. I mean, did
he or did Fangio and Greg Roman do that?
How many times did Harbaugh win that division? Yeah, but who hired those guys?
Okay, but he's not going to have what offensive coordinator is he going to have? Just out of curiosity, who's the guy that's like the Harbaugh? It's Greg Roman, and he coaches,
that
for
was
the other
one
Harbaugh.
I think Jim Harbaugh has enough connections where he could go out and hire an offensive coach.
Okay, but tell me the other offensive coordinator he's hired. Hold on. You're gonna hold up Michigan? Michigan's give me a break.
Where was Minnesota ranked this year with a defensive coach, Mike Zimmer, with one eye, and Clint Kubiak running that offense? They were a top 10 scoring offense. You really don't think Jim Harbaugh is going to be able to put that together?
I don't think he makes a difference for them, no.
Oh, so you don't think he's going to have a better offense than Clint Kubiak?
I'm not saying – I just don't think he moves the needle that much for them. I don't think he would have moved the needle that much for the Bears. I would have taken it because I like the optics of it. Like, and the meathead in me is like, yeah, Harbaugh, that'd be awesome. But like, I don't know what he really does unless he's got his perfect coordinators. So much so that he was willing to take a pay cut to keep his coordinators.
So if he goes to Minnesota, brings Fangio, you're not the least bit concerned.
Yeah, if he brings Fangio, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. But it's not because I
What about Wink Martindale? I mean, like, do you see what I'm saying?
It's not gonna be because I thought that the Bears should have got him no matter the price. You got Bears fans out here saying that they should give Harbaugh 10 years, $100 million. I don't think that's true.
It don't matter. We take the North. We don't give it back. Start now.
That was corny. That was the corniest line.
I thought it was all right. It was nice to hear.
He's like, we take the turn page north, turn page, and we don't give it back. Crumple, crumple, crumple.
I mean, Lovey said something
Sniff.
similar when he was hired.
And I said that should be a T-shirt, right?
Yeah, and he fucking said it with his chest in this lovey way.
Then obvious shirts had to put the Hogan Johns logo on the sleeve.
Pulse said it like it was reading the fucking ingredients to a box of cereal. Riboflavin. Like, get the fuck out of here. It was all right. It wasn't that exciting.
Lucky.
I'm saying you get hyped because I think it's a new start, it's new hope, and I'm still hopeful. I don't think there was other perfect candidates that went other places. Everybody has issues. Even as much as we wanted Flores and McDaniels, I think they have issues, and I don't think anybody that goes anywhere else is a sure thing. More of a sure thing than Eberflus. I don't know.
Sure thing, no, but it's competency if they hire Harbaugh.
I mean, are we mad that Daboll's on the Giants? I don't know.
Are we comparing Dable to Harbaugh?
No, I'm just saying, like, the other coaches. Are there other coaches? Are there other coaches besides? I know, Diddy, you're not happy with the McDaniels hire.
No, I'm just saying. I don't think you compare Dable to McDaniels. I think
but are there other coaching hires like making you go, damn, we should have got that guy yet? And I was ready to say they jumped the gun.
McDaniels a little bit, but
I like if the staff comes together the way that we think it's going to. Joe Brady, Rod Marinelli, Callahan, that's fucking pretty money.
Callahan would get me pretty fucking pumped.
Some of the names that we've been hearing, this is going to be a solid staff if they land them.
Yeah. Like I'm hyped for that. I like
Chris Ballard was on too, and he was basically saying if we're hiring a new defensive coordinator, him taking his guys is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's cool that there's a continuity of him being able to bring his guys over from Indy.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I like we've definitely taken our shots at Ballard because everybody acts like he's the golden boy. But I liked the way he spoke, and I thought he was smart, and he spoke highly of Eberflus, and I think it was I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if, and I don't know this for a fact because you always want to see your guys probably get sought after. I mean, this is a good thing. Like, Bears fans are like, oh, what if they steal our coordinators? You want to be the good team that people steal the coordinators from. That's a good place to be. It means you're doing something right. People want to replicate what you're doing. We're not used to that as Bears fans because that never happens. Like, the only time it happened was like when Ron Rivera left. Like, other than that,
it's cart before the horse, though. If that happens, if they pluck our OC, that means he got Justin going. Good for us.
Yes, great. I want that problem. That's a good
once you get to that
have.
level, I think it's less of a deal. It's that early years of development that you really want that continuity for. But in the future, I'm not worried about that either.
I think it's great because I was talking to a Packer fan. They're like, "Oh, just Getsy will take over our OC." No, well, wait a second.
No, Packers fans are in fucking denial right now. They're actually talking themselves into the offensive line coach being a good offensive coordinator, and that might happen.
We're gonna run heavy,
but like they are lying to themselves. Their coaching staff just got gutted.
Yeah,
Hackett and Getsy are huge losses to them, and they're lying to themselves if they think Stenovich is just going to fucking.
I will say one of the Packers fans is like, well, enjoy all that Jordan Love growth and change. Is like, oh, yeah, forgot about that.
Well, and even if it is Rodgers, I think they're going to have a little bit of it.
Getsy was the wide receiver coach earlier on in his career, and I think Devontae speaks very highly of him, too.
The thing that scares me a little bit about Getsy is he's never called plays. As an NFL offensive coordinator,
but he did it in the college level.
Yeah, I did 1 year at Mississippi State. They lost a bowl game to like Iowa or something. That's where he's got that Joe Moorhead background or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Josh asked a question in the chat about interviewing Harbaugh. I think that what came out was he basically said, "I want 10 years, $100 million." The Bears were like, "Peace."
He wanted a big-ass contract. He wants Mel Tucker money. We've been saying this. He's using the Bears and other teams as leverage. The Bears hired their coach. And now, ironically, it looks like the Vikings are really have a shot at
If they don't pay him
signing
for 10
him.
years, $100 million. Oh my God, Chicago media is going to explode. If it's like
Yeah,
Wilf
and
will do it, man.
years,
Wilf will
30.
throw money at it.
I mean, does Harbaugh really have that much better of a resume than Caldwell? I mean, if you really get down to it, I don't think he does. Caldwell's old, and that's the dig on him. Caldwell, you question the staff that he might build, but is Harbaugh like that much better than Doug Peterson?
Yeah.
Is he? I mean, he hasn't won a Super Bowl.
Once Doug started getting his guys plucked, Doug wasn't what we thought.
So
Doug
was but
Was
fucking
Dan Marino
Harbaugh got his guys plucked, and he stopped getting along with the GM. Like,
which seemed to be an issue, right? Because the guy that didn't Leftwich want him gone in Jacksonville.
Balky.
Same guy. He's kind of a
Agreed. So maybe he's the problem, and it's not Harbaugh. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm not going to freak out. Bears Twitter will freak out if Harbaugh goes to the Vikings.
Oh, the guy that
I'm
the Vikings hired also worked with Harbaugh in the past, I believe. They have a relationship.
Quasi?
I believe so.
What? Oh, okay.
I don't know where the connection was.
Michigan or something? I don't know.
Disco back in the day. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, whatever. I'm not going to freak out. Other people are definitely going to freak out, and I'm not saying they're wrong for freaking out. I'm just saying, what's the point? Like, I think that in a vacuum, these are good hires, and I think they'll be fine. I think that maybe they'll get lucky. I mean, BK said same old shit, different season, but I'll withhold judgment. Their blind throw at the bullseye may work out.
Exactly.
I hope it does.
I don't think it's a blind throw. I think it's a throw that has been, that has at least some aim.
I think it's somewhat blind. I mean, it's still George, still Ted.
Yeah, but he's got somebody holding the dart for him.
A guy
him at a
that the
dartboard.
league MVP should be playing wide receiver. Sorry, Paulian. But...
It's true.
No, I mean, Jared's right. It's at least somewhat guided, I guess. I think he has a point.
It was guided. The whole thing was guided. Polls was guided. I mean, it's fine. It's still collaboration. Autocorrect fucked me. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, again, you're making a choice if you want to be upset. They're not making you upset. You're making a choice to be upset.
Yeah, they're not holding you hostage. People.
Right. That's the thing. Is like stop putting yourself on the cross about this team. Oh, I've suffered a long-suffering Bears fan. Oh yeah, it's so terrible to get drunk every Sunday. Like, get out of here. Like, it's so horrible to go out and with your friends and root for your team. Oh, you poor bastards. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, seriously. Like, when I hear about long-suffering fans, you literally have a hobby that's just sitting on your ass and drinking and eating food, and you call yourself suffering. Like, get all the way the fuck out of here with that shit. Like, you don't want to do that shit? Do something else. Like, calm the fuck down. And you want to just, like, Bears fans that right now want to just fucking, like, be Negatron over nothing. Like, just cut the bullshit. Like, if you don't want to root for this team, you don't have to. Nobody's holding you hostage. You can leave. Like, it's fine, and you'll probably be happier.
I like this change in dynamic with you, A.
I was about to say, yeah.
It's a little positive. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying you make a fucking choice. You're making a choice.
They're clearly. I mean, come on. A lot of people are jaded because look at how many years of ineptitude. Like, I get it. I do.
But every year, a choice is made. I don't care if your dad and your dad's dad, and your mom's mom are Bears fans. You wake up in the morning and you make a fucking choice to root for this team, and your eyes are wide open. And if they're not, you're stupid. If you think so it's not about being blindly faithful or whatever, but you made a fucking choice to root for this team. So if you're just gonna come at everything and be like, oh, what the fuck about everything, you're just an asshole.
But you can't switch teams now, though. You can't just wake up.
Do whatever the fuck you want. You can absolutely do whatever the fuck you want. If you can jock Brady, if you can climb up if you can be building a statue of Brady out of mashed potatoes with your burnt steak every night, like, and then just like eating it like together, like a bite of Brady and a bite of burnt.
Hey, listen,
like,
I'm just saying, you can't wake up one day and be a Yankees fan and be like, "Oh, I'm going to root for the White Sox now."
Yes, you fucking can. Actually, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
It doesn't feel the same. You don't get the same satisfaction out of it. No,
wrong.
When you've rooted for one team for 30 years of your life, you can't just wake up one day and be like, "You know what?"
Actually, you can. That's so
fake, man. That's fake.
So, it's actually self-care.
I know.
If you're really hurting, if you're suffering so much, it is self-care to cut the pain out of your life.
Best story is, I know an ex-Yankee fan that gave me shit when the Yankees and Red Sox were playing each other.
Mm-hmm.
And the Red Sox did this to him. He actually left the Yankees and became a White Sox fan. And I think it's the best thing ever. Like,
is it? That's exciting for you?
The Red Sox did that to that person.
The Red Sox did that to me?
Absolutely.
That's what you think?
I wasn't saying you, but you just admitted
you.
Oh, you weren't saying me?
I said I know a person.
I don't give a fuck.
Like, you gonna be a Purdue fan next?
Oh.
Yo, people can make choices. That's all I'm saying.
You're holding BK hostage, AA. Come on.
I'm not holding anybody fucking hostage. I'm not holding anybody hostage, BK. BK got more burners.
Is he really?
Nah. People make burners for BK, and then they use them to troll other people and pretend they're him. Wow. It's a whole web of lies.
He was trolling somebody today. He was getting someone who played at Michigan.
Yo, shout out to our boy Yakub, who's never in the chat anymore. I hope he's doing well. But he was
fucking. He gave it up.
He's trolling. Yakub is trolling like crazy, saying that
someone else's stats from Michigan.
Yes.
Oh yeah. What did he say? He said it was so ridiculous. He was tripping. He was one of. I gotta say two more things. One. The fucking people that are tripping about Kay Adams.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, you're pathetic. Like, if you are mad at Kay Adams because she's doing her job as an entertainer on a TV show.
It broke my heart a little bit. I don't want...
I
wouldn't even answer my phone if she called now.
Please, bro.
Nah, she's done. She's done.
Please.
Oh, you would drink the bathwater.
You thought, like, I'm saying, I fucking called them all out. Like, she didn't fucking answer your DMs. She didn't like your Woman Crush Wednesday tweet that you fucking sent. You know, like, come on. Like, everybody likes Kay. Everybody thinks Kay's cute, blah, blah, blah. But she's doing her fucking job. Like, relax about Kay Adams. Like, Bears fans just embarrassing themselves over that shit.
I'm done with
it. Oh, yeah. Like, she gives a fuck? And you know that's not true because when the Bears win again, if she shows up in a Bears sweatshirt, everyone will be like, oh, she's back. Like, fuck out of here. Nobody's going to be like, no, you rooted for the Bengals.
This is coming from a guy who hops teams. I don't want to talk about it. I'm done with it.
Now, what was the other thing you were going to talk about?
I was going to talk about fucking Eric Lambert and sports mockery, and I'm going to eat some fucking crow because I defended this guy. I defended this guy on this show. I've defended this guy and said, everybody's just mad because he fucking, gets clickbait and it actually works. He's a fucking clown.
Dude, I brought up a tweet that you.
I know. It was true then, and I don't know what happened. I fucking whatever. He's a clown. So he puts out this article that's basically comparing the former wide receivers coach for the Jaguars to fucking Sean Desai 100% based on their race.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Like, is this guy the fucking offensive version of Sean Desai? Like, he literally had the word offensive in the tweet. How can you be that fucking ignorant and stupid that you don't see how fucking racist that is? You literally are comparing people on the basis of their race. You fucking moron. And I called him out and was like, bro, this headline.
Yeah, he did.
This headline is fucked up. What are you doing? Are you kidding? I called him out. And he changes it to Doesn't change the article, just changes the headline to Bears possibly hiring coach who can unlock Justin Fields. What? Like, he
Why?
couldn't
He's a
give
wide
up his clip.
receiver coach, right?
He's like, I wrote
Yeah.
that fucking article, and I'm sticking with it. Trash, bro. Trash. Like, oh my God, trash.
Hey,
I'm so sorry that I ever fucking gave that guy any credit.
like Brian
Anybody that would
says,
align themselves with David Prince is trash anyway.
like Brian says, it tells you what they are in the title. It's mockery.
Yeah. Well, that's what's fucked up is that they started out trying to be funny and they weren't good at it. So they went with straight ahead shit. But then they just became clickbait.
The comments in the chat on the Rank podcast episode with him were fucking hilarious.
Oh, dude.
When he had Lambert on there,
That's brutal. Like,
Comments
Adam
were
Rank, like, how do you not know the backstory? How do you not know that this is the guy who pretended to be at fucking Bears camp? Like, come on.
Wait, what?
Lambert.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Lambert
Oh,
got
I
busted
didn't know
by
that
Bears
story.
Twitter like 5-6 years ago.
In Rank's defense, though, he's
17.
a very good dude. Like, you could have him
Yes.
here. He's always
Yeah.
willing to help people
But
out.
you got to know, you got to be a little more savvy to know the backstory with that guy. He came off looking bad for having him on. Nobody fucking respects Lambert. They just don't. And nor really should they. You know, and I'm an ass for like even, you know, the halfway defending the guy. Like,
Yeah, you went back and forth with that because you called him trash like back in like.
I know, and I was right then, and I fucking softened on it. I don't know why. Like, he was on that other podcast. He seemed like a decent dude, but fucking wasn't. So whatever. Like, it's just fucking
He writes
cornball.
articles off tweets, like random tweets.
Yeah. Yo, but so many people do that. It's such bullshit. Like, somebody will literally take a tweet, expand it to like 150 words, and link the tweet and call that an article.
When you're working 4 jobs, that's all you have time for, man.
Well, that's the funny thing. Like, we know people that like came out with Prince, like David Prince, and he was the biggest scam artist ever.
So anyway, Lambert got crushed on Bears Twitter. I was telling that. Sorry,
I was going. Yeah. Now you got the guy that was connected to David Prince trying to be a source breaker. It's just hilarious how it plays out, isn't it?
Well, and he got busted for not actually being at camp. He was basically pretending that he was at camp.
Oh, I'm not talking about Lambert. I'm talking about.
I am. Prince, all that shit.
Prince, well, no, the guy that invests money into other.
Prince, Austin, Brez, all these fucking clowns, like, got called out once, came back, and then fucking went back to their old bullshit and got called out again, and are like basically gone. But Prince still has his shit. He's still out there doing his burners. Right? He's doing mockery, and fucking, like, Austin still watches The Bachelor a lot.
I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Well, that's your Bears Twitter minute.
I've cleaned up my timeline.
Yeah, no, me too.
I need to learn the mute function.
The Wordle mute is the most money.
Oh, the Wordle mute is genius.
Shout out to AA. That's my good for the week. Is thank you for suggesting
Don't be using your fucking ESPN 1000 segments on this show.
Coach is in here. Coach is in the chat.
Hey, Coach.
Eberflus, get that juice. Eberflus, bring the juice. Eberflus.
Bring the juice, Eberflus.
Future honey bear over there. Jesus.
They're not booing. They're saying flus.
Hey, we got Coach.
Flus. Oh, we're going to go. It's going to be flus heavy. Hey, I know. What's up, Matt? Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we got to have
who
you
is
on
Prince?
Sometime, Coach.
You know who David Prince is, BK? Don't fucking play dumb. You mean like, existentially, who is he? I don't know.
I don't know, man, because he's like in a different realm of Bears Twitter. Like, he doesn't.
BK, no. BK knows about Prince. He's being more existential with the question, like, who is this fucking guy? Yes, I know for a fact that BK is old school enough to know about Prince. Like,
remember the Bose headphones right out the gate?
He was out there. What?
The Bose headphone giveaway right out the gate.
And I went at him. I got blocked by him like fucking years ago because I was like, "This is fake as
We all got
fuck."
blocked, and he sent us these long DMs, and like it was really weird.
Yeah.
He had DM'd me one time because I said something. He was like, "Hey, bro, you mind deleting that off the timeline?" Just like
He would fucking, and then he'd make like 3 burners and be like, follow, unfollow, follow, unfollow, follow, unfollow. Like, and fucking, like, oh God, bros.
And then the people that try to seperate the fact that they
nuts.
were down with him, it's just so funny. Like, we don't remember all this
It's
shit.
like horny as shit.
Oh,
God. That's a good question. Who is Prince? A crazy person. Not like crazy, like post the GM's wedding video crazy. Like, not like crazy, like your phone's full of kid pictures of Justin Fields crazy.
Or like,
Like,
crazy,
not
crazy, like you thinking NFL players didn't come to your wedding crazy.
Yeah, like not like that. Like not like fucking weird ass like day 23 of posting Harbaugh to the Bears. Like not that fucking crazy. Like not that crazy. Oh, coach has already been blocked by the Bears blog. Matt Eberflus in the chat right now. This is breaking news. Has been blocked by Jeff Hughes. Probably because he is not willing to admit that the Bears blog is the #1 blog in the nation. The #1 Bears blog in the nation.
For now.
As reported on by American Theater Weekly.
Wow. That's quite the sounding board there.
I mean, you know, it's really something. Like, I mean, if theater critics know anything, they know Bears blogs. I mean, that's just science. Actually. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. Maybe you wouldn't know what that is. You wouldn't know what that is. My passion is shaming Bears reporters. You don't know about passion, but that's my passion. My passion is shitting on Biggs and Pompey.
And Weeder.
That's my passion. And whoa, and don't even get me started on Weeder. The devil. What a joke Weeder is. I day drink and write theater. And I got one connection in 17 years.
Didn't somebody ask him to come on a podcast? He's like, I charge $150 for 20 minutes or something. Like,
yo, well, the best part is that there's the Bears blog burner that gets in all the fucking.
You blocked Coach already here?
I did not block Flus. Untrue sources. Biggs is an ass. Yo, Biggs didn't get in very many questions. Biggs is sleeping, bro. He got one. I don't even know. I don't think it was not even good.
Awesome. Towards the end, too.
They weren't down. They were not fucking having it with Biggs today.
No, Biggs too busy looking at cheeks.
Biggs is going through his photo roll. Like, oh, shit. Oh, snap. These creep shots is choice.
Brad, do you want to ask a question? Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know Sharky was gonna. I didn't know Sharky was gonna be here.
Yeah. Oh God, fucking Biggs. Biggs is definitely an ass.
He handled it like a pro, though, man. That freaking sick beach shot he put out there.
The creep shot moment, yeah. Biggs just was smart. You just don't say a fucking word and it goes away. You don't say a fucking word. You don't apologize. You don't delete. Well, I did delete.
We should
you
find
definitely
that picture,
delete.
Though, and put that Biggs time little intro song that they play on 670. Biggs.
Yeah, and then the fucking Akeem. Yo, that Akeem Hicks tweet. I swear to God, I did not notice that there is somebody in the locker that he's standing in front of until like recently. Like he's so wide, bro. I didn't even realize that like Cody Whitehair is like back there, but you can't even see him because like he's just obscure.
I'm here to interview you,
blocking out the sun. Is Biggs like like a fucking full eclipse of the
He
Biggs.
looked like he lost some weight though. Give him credit for that.
Yeah, he probably found it again.
Maybe. It's the reason I got
Always
blocked
watch
by
the
him.
Shout out to Lord Biggs. Good. You know, nobody enjoys a jar.
How dare you call another man Lord? Oh.
It's fucking trolling, first of all.
Oh, so it's acceptable and
Yeah.
fashionable when you do it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All
It's
right.
like you fucking
All
buy
right.
you like buy
All right.
Q-tips with the ends are shaped like Tom Brady's helmet.
Wrap this bitch up.
Yeah.
Oh, braids in my ears.
No
just
Q-tips or
provide
biscuits. It's
a
bad.
little-
Bad
a little
for your ears.
update.
Yeah,
To our-
Q-tips are bad for your ears, but sometimes you gotta use them because it feels good.
A little update to our playoff pool here, and Jared's up
Oh,
75, Biscuits at 50, and the two of us are 45. But the Super Bowl's worth 50, so whoever gets that.
don't we have to pick the score too, right?
No, I mean we can do it.
Tiebreaker has to be the score.
Yeah, but it's still what?
Hang on.
Good night, coach.
We got 2 weeks.
Oh, coach leaving
Maybe next week.
flues.
Floo, say hello to Sue.
Soup and flues.
Enjoy your flight down to Mobile, coach.
Don't forget your running shoes there, coach.
Track shoes.
Track shoes.
They
Sorry.
better bring their track shoes. What, man? What?
Whatever works, dude.
Whatever. It's clever, brother.
H is for health. I is for incendiary. T is for trepidatious. S is for superstar. Hits.
No, it's for soup.
Health.
Yeah, Jared
Incendiary.
nailed it.
What?
S is for Sue. and hits, bro.
Hot. Interesting. Tasty.
Tortellini.
Tasty soup. Hot, interesting, tasty soup. Hits.
Tortellini soup.
Oh God, tortellini
Ooh,
soup.
Italian
Ugh.
tortellini.
Yeah.
That's the name, man. It's
So
hits.
good.
Hot Italian
Yeah.
tortellini soup.
That's perfect. That is
Yeah,
fucking
hey,
perfect.
honestly, these dudes be murdering some
Italian
food, bro.
tortellini soup.
Yo, that shit looked good. Don't even play. I sent y'all that 8-second video. I know. Jared was
Oh
like,
God,
man,
it was
I'm
a
hungry.
video. I didn't even. Oh.
Yeah, so fuck you. You didn't even click on it. You fucking
I couldn't.
asshole.
It literally made me feel sick. It's like
Get the fuck
like
outta
a
here.
grease grease tomato milk soup with mysterious pasta floating in it. Like there's like shiny
He's like,
oil
I
slick.
said, what's the broth base? Half and half. I'm like, oh my
Whoa. Half and half in chicken broth, bro.
god.
Still, that's disgusting, bro.
What, dude? Are you, nah, that's
Dude,
that's
like,
got-
the
that's
top
got
of that
that's got a
soup had, like,
4.9 on Pinterest, okay?
That came from Pinterest.
Yes, dude. That's how I get all my recipes. Pinterest, bro. You think I'm just freewheeling this shit out here? That's a dangerous
Yes,
game.
bro.
No, that's dangerous. No way.
Oh my god, bro! There's like an oil slick of sausage grease
Jared?
on the top of the soup.
Jer knows food. Jer,
No, I don't.
Jer, I need a soup rating, Jer.
I would not probably eat that.
Jer, you're dead to me. You're dead to me. Don't
It's-
lie. In the thread, he was like, "Man,
If people
I'm
don't
hungry."
know, Biscuit sent us this soup in the chat, and it looked literally like hot milk with sausage grease floating in it.
No, I'm gonna post that tonight. Now, I'm
Yeah,
gonna see the
please do
timeline.
because
I'm
you're gonna
see the
get
timeline for
fucking roasted. But watch, Patrick will love it because Patrick will be like, "That soup's from Schenectady. You don't know about that soup? Everybody in Schenectady eats that soup." Whoa, you didn't like with his fucking pizza with the cold cheese on
Oh
it.
my god.
Like he'll be like, "Yo, tortellini soup is fire." We'll be like,
It is, man.
It's literally like a hot grease milk with like fucking like it's just the whole shit is wrong. Whoever came up with that is wrong.
I didn't know if that was chicken or if that was like
Oh, it
you
looks
melted
like
cheese and it
it's
just.
like fucking.
No,
balls of-
I'm being serious, bro.
It was Italian sausage tortellinis and broth with tomatoes and other shit in it, man. It was
Boy,
good.
it sure looked like
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
took about. It looked really cheesy, like somebody melted like a block of cheese in it.
Listen,
On
I'm not going to
accident.
be slandered by a pizza casserole, man. Okay,
Guess who
I don't
didn't
wanna
get their
fucking
shit
hear it.
Hey, you made that recipe and made it look good,
Yeah, that's why you should trust my soup instincts. Okay?
bro. I trust you about nothing regarding food. Like I could be starving to death, and I would question your food opinions.
Oh, you're gonna eat it one day. You'll
My
see.
recipe is in
Oh.
fact not authentic.
If I go to Myrtle Beach and you serve me tortellini hot milk ass grease soup, bro,
Honestly, it kind of looked like somebody had really bad diarrhea, but the tortellini didn't break down in their body.
Yeah, like horrifying, bro.
We're gonna leave this to the timeline to decide.
Or the timeline's gonna shred
God.
you.
No,
No,
like I
they
fucking
won't.
care. I don't give a shit.
I know, but like
You
really. You think there's gonna be a moment of vindication for you?
hey, you really
It is.
underestimate the stupidity of the timeline.
Speaking of which, this
Right.
is that soup looks so fucking gross. This is not a spoiler. This is not a spoiler, but like that. But the fucking Famous Gemstones show is hardcore sometimes.
Was that
A
not a
lot
good
of-
recommendation?
There's a lot of unexpected, strange nudity in that show. It's fucking funny as hell. It's amazing.
Oh, dude.
Danny McBride is a fucking genius.
I don't like
fucking
where this
genius.
is going.
His sister in that show is unbelievably funny. The crazy sister. Oh my
Oh, her
god, she's so
boyfriend, dude?
fucking funny. Everybody's amazing in that show. Like they kill it. But there's a shot where his brother throws up, and the camera goes from beneath the vomit. So you see the vomit hit the camera, and then it's a match cut to him over the toilet. And it's like, like, it's like virtual reality vomit, bro. It was horrifying, and I thought of your soup.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like, your soup gave me the same visceral reaction. Like,
No.
vomit in my face! Like, I'm a scuba diver with a fucking mask on. Vomit, bro. That's what your soup made me think of. Hot greased milk.
Timeline will say.
And you took a video of it as if I needed some fucking glamour shots of that hot
what I do,
abomination, bro. You ever seen those Italian dudes on TikTok that get angry about fucking bad Italian food?
Yeah, we need to take these boys. If they come up north or Chicago, we need to take them off some good Italian food. Like
No, I ain't wasting no fucking nothing on biscuits.
no,
I'll get
Wow, that's beat up.
Yo, I don't even want to hear about. I don't even want to hear. I don't want to even. I don't know, bro. Like, we'll drink. I ain't sitting down in a nice restaurant with you and watching you do your
Whoa.
thing.
I didn't say it had to be nice. Like
I did.
Just take me to Harold's, man. That's it. Boom, done, over with.
I did, bro. You go to Harold's and we'll be out to dinner at a nice restaurant. You be eating Harold's on the fucking curb.
Yeah, I don't need a steak served on a lava rock or whatever the hell it
that
was.
was banging.
Shit, you missed that.
Yeah, that was good.
No, you guys missed that, and lucky for you, because y'all would have. Yeah.
No,
Jared
you
came
would've
to
been there, we
my
would've been
restaurant and
on
ate a fucking badass fucking cheesesteak made from fucking bison. Smoked bison cheesesteak.
It was
With
bomb.
I
fucking-
couldn't come to your restaurant though. I
Smoked
would be
mushrooms.
scared of what you would serve me. Like
I wouldn't even let you in.
I'd be
Like, so
concerned.
we're fine.
I know.
I'd be like, sir, Popeyes is down the street. Go get a fucking dry ass biscuit, sir.
Just for that, I'm going to show up as a health inspector.
Oh, that's Jared's move.
That's my move.
You know, because fucking millennials are dumb. What? Okay. Like,
That was classic. And I was
literally, Jared looked like a fucking drowned carny. Like, just got done setting up a Ferris.
Kissing and pouring that.
Yeah, like Jared looked like he had just got done doing all the meth in Indiana and had just got done setting up a fucking wheel, like a fucking Ferris wheel in the rain and like pouring rain. And this girl looks at him and is like, "Oh, you're the health inspector, huh?" Okay.
Sent them all in a panic.
Oh my god, bro!
I just sent my soup to BK, by the way.
I was never more
Live
relieved. BK, he's gonna troll you on that soup. He's gonna be like, "That looks great." I would, but I'm a nice guy. Double A is angry and bitter. Yes, I am. Yes, I fucking am. I don't hide it. I'm just telling it like it is.
Let's wrap
This
this
soup
up.
is trash.
You
All
want
right,
to
it's time
make
to wrap it
picks
up.
before we get out of here?
Yeah. I take the Rams. Rams 30, Bengals 28.
We're not doing score. Just
Well, I just did.
I'm taking the Rams.
You have to have a tiebreaker, don't you?
No.
You two do.
When we all pick the one game, we all have to have a tiebreaker. It's got to be the score.
Well, you two. Well, if all four of us pick the same game, then it doesn't matter. You two are the only two that need to do the tiebreaker.
What's your score, A?
30-28 Rams.
I'll take the Rams. 28-14. All right, Biscuits, Rams, Bengals.
Bengals.
Joey
27-24.
And Jer.
Rams. 35.
Rams.
35.
Strategy.
35-10?
God damn.
Damn.
Well, it doesn't matter because
beatdown.
if Jer gets the Rams, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. The only team I missed this whole playoff pick 'em has been the Bengals every time.
Yeah.
It's the only games I missed are the Bengals.
Bodes
games.
well for me.
So Biscuits is the only one that has a chance to win besides Jer.
Last show? No, this isn't the last show. We keep going.
It is for me. I'm good.
Yeah, all right.
I'll be back around draft time.
You'll see. They'll see your ass on Thursday.
Senior Bowl's next week. Guess what? Draft talk.
I got a job. You know what I'm saying? Got to be up in the morning.
Yeah. You're the only one. That's it. That's the fucking show. That's all that she wrote. Thanks for tuning in. BK in the house, repping. Josh. Matt Eberflus was our guest in the fucking chat. Amazing. Like, I mean, how fucking cool is that? The Flus.
Our guy, South Elgin, too, who's usually always with us. He was in here tonight.
Frank. That's Frank with his old YouTube.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah, Frank's cool people.
Shout outs now. Good Lord.
Yeah, because we appreciate. I usually say I don't give a fuck who listens, and I don't. But I'm trying to be nice.
Well, if you don't tag them in the post of the show, then it happened.
That's true.
All right.
Did you write that on official letterhead when you did that?
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, Biscuits is the great uniter.
I'm a unifier. Okay?
Yes. Biscuits is unifying people, bringing them together.
I'm just trying to wrap the show up. I didn't know we were doing a shout out. That's all I'm saying. Like, thank you everybody for listening, but let's get the fuck out.
That's true. Anyway, it's just another episode of the Tailgate Show.
How bears?
BLT is a scam sandwich, toppings only.
The hot Italian
Tortellini soup. The Flus. The Flus is loose.